Hello there, thanks for joining us on the JoyNews channel. It's another day of leaked tape probe, and today Superintendent Supt Asare was before the committee admitting recommending COP Alex Mensah and 3 others to Bugri Naabu for appointment as Inspector General of Police in what he describes as a confidential meeting. This is the polls, and later on the show as well, we will talk about the forest and the siege. We build up to the JoyNews documentary exposing massive destruction in the country's forests by illegal miners. We'll get to the very latest on that for you as we look forward to the premiering on the JoyNews channel. Plus, we have an update on the minorities' push for the Bank of Ghana Governor Ernest Alderson to resign. We have an update challenging the decision of the police to block tomorrow's protest.
Dealing with our supporters and those who have prepared themselves for this match to remain prepared, because this match will happen. It will happen on the same route. It is only the date that will change after the court has given a ruling.
We have these and more coming your way here on The Pulse. I am blessed, and it's a pleasure to be with you once more on this program. The Pulse, as always, is brought to you by Global Communities Dignilu, affordable, safe sanitation for all. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and myjoyonline.com for these stories. We're starting off with our concerns from Parliament and the probe into the alleged leaked audio. We'll get that for you shortly. And just as we've been bringing to you on the JoyNews channel, it's been a busy day. Chairperson of the Parliament's ad hoc committee probing the leaked tape allegedly scheming to remove the Inspector General of Police, Samuel Chacha, has reviewed a new tape is now emerging from some news sources on this matter. According to Mr. Chacha, the committee, after sensitizing after actually scrutinizing the 4 witnesses, including Bugri Naabu and also the COP Alex Mensah, Superintendent Eric JB, as well as Superintendent Supt Asare, will now thoroughly examine any related matters to provide some sort of a balanced report on the happenings in Parliament. He has, however, indicated that the committee going forward will consider an in-camera hearing while inviting any person of interest on this matter. He was speaking to the media a while ago after today's seating, which we'll bring to you here shortly. But first, I want us to cross over to Parliament, where my colleague Samuel Mbura has been on standby, monitoring, first of all, the proceedings and this latest development that we're getting on the matter, that there appears to be a new audio emanating from the ad hoc committee. So, if you're with us, first of all, break this down for us. This new audio that we are learning from, and possibly what the source might be. Can you tell us more about this?
Blessed, well, the committee wouldn't reveal where this new source is coming from, but it was after the sitting today that we're told that there's a new tape that has emerged, and the committee will have to consider scrutinizing it, because we know very well that when Mr. Alex Mensah, COP, came as a star witness for the police side, he said that yes, there is a resemblance of his voice in the tape, but he feels it is doctored, and he has been strong on that stance. The same applicable to the latest person that has to do with Superintendent Supt Asare, who is, according to the tape, is the lead architect of this plot to remove the IGP and then replace him with COP Asare in the course of their lobbying. So Mr. Asare is also on that grounds saying that the tape is doctored, and then he's expecting the whole audio to listen to it. So it was after that the committee chair, some other chair, indicated that yes, a new source has emerged and has given them that audio. They wouldn't divulge information as to where it is coming from, because they are protecting the whistleblower here. So meaning the committee will have to go and examine, thoroughly scrutinize this new tape, and then compare the notes with what they already have. The old tape, they have a transcript and the audio itself. That's about 45 minutes. So that's a comparison that they are going to do. Then moving forward, they will now go for the in-camera sitting, because some of the witnesses, key amongst them is COP Alex Mensah, who has been insisting that he wants to give or open up to the committee, but on grounds of in-camera sitting, the same as George or Superintendent George Asare, who says that he has more to tell about the IGP's management of the Ghana Police Service, but that will only be done when he's given the opportunity to meet the committee in camera.
And Sami, if this is anything to go by, it has far-reaching implications for, first of all, the remit of the committee, because the committee is supposed to hear this alleged leaked audio, the leakage being the source, I mean, from social media and what we've seen on some media platforms across the country. However, if we're to go by this very latest tape that the committee is, taking hold of, it might change, the implication for both the witnesses and the committee itself, because there might be fresh details on this.
Exactly, that's what it means, because in the earlier engagements, some of the witnesses kept on repeating that there is another audio, or that's not a full audio. So meaning the suspicion was that there was a full audio that has not been released to the public. So probably this is the new one, or the full one that has been released to the public. Mind you, COP Alex Mensah has met Bugri Naabu not less than 4 times. It is the same with Superintendent George Asare. He said he has met him thrice on different locations, and so they expect that all these conversations will be captured. So we don't have the privilege to listen to the content of this new tape, but the key witnesses have both indicated that yes, their voices, or there is a resemblance of their voices in the tape. However, portions were doctored. When Superintendent George Asare appeared before a committee, he actually identified certain portions that he said he actually said them. However, there were others that he insisted were doctored. So definitely this new tape will bring a new direction or a narration to the entire conversation so far as this probe is concerned.
The next step shortly, but even to talk about today and what it does hold for the committee. We know that Superintendent Asare has been before the committee pointing out what his side of the story is. First of all, confirming again that that's the audio. There was indeed a conversation, except to say the context was breached if we're going by the elements on the audio itself. Beyond that, he's been pointing to how it appears to be normal, in his opinion, and he was expressing his personal opinion that it is normal for an individual to lobby to become the Inspector General of Police. He pointed out clear to the committee, isn't it?
Exactly, Blessed, and I must say that was the first person Bugri Naabu mentioned when he appeared before the committee. He claimed that Superintendent George Asare was the one who served as a lobbyist for Alex Mensah COP, who is on terminal leave pending retirement. So according to the accounts of Superintendent George Asare, the direct son of Bugri Naabu, one Prophet Emmanuel Tei Bugri Naabu, is the one who introduced him to his father. So he claims that the Prophet, the son of Bugri Naabu, is his godfather. So in a conversation that the godfather revealed to him that, are you aware that they are scouting for a new IGP? Then he said, oh, he is not aware. So the son offered to introduce him to his father, Bugri Naabu, whom they say he is an influential politician, and he has been the former Northern Regional Chairman of the NPP, so he wields so much power in the NPP and the Akufo-Addo government. So after the son of Bugri Naabu introducing him to his father then scheduled another meeting. That was the second meeting that Superintendent George Asare went to Bugri Naabu. So that's where he was asked, so do you have any officer in mind that you would want to recommend? And then he now recommended COP Alex Mensah. But Bugri Naabu told him that he was told that Mr. or COP Alex Mensah was on leave, so he wasn't eligible. So he explained that it doesn't work like that in the service. There are officers that went on retirement, yet they came back to serve on contract as IGP. So that is how come he met Bugri Naabu. It wasn't a direct contact that he had with him, but through his son. So later, the CV of COP Alex Mensah was presented to Mr. Bugri Naabu according to the accounts given by Superintendent George Asare. So it was later that COP Alex Mensah was invited, and that was the third meeting that the entire conversation started, that we heard the recording and all that. So Superintendent George Asare claims that he was called 13 times by Mr. Bugri Naabu on one of the days. It was on the 19th of June that Mr. Bugri Naabu called him 13 times. Later, his boss, who is COP Alex Mensah, called him, and then he picked the call and then went and met them at the office of Bugri Naabu. And that's where the whole, this part of the leaked audio is in the public domain. And then several issues came up. They claimed that some officers were tipped to replace Akufu Dampare. Amongst them were COP Mami Tiwa Dodankwa, whom we know is the current Iyoko boss. A name like COP Eneso Wusu, his name also came during their conversation. And then COP Tete Yohunu's name was also mentioned in the meeting there. So that was where Superintendent George Asare said they had a conversation with Bugri Naabu, but that one was on private. It was on a private base, and then he didn't see anything wrong discussing with Bugri Naabu on issues. But he stressed that the meeting with Bugri Naabu had nothing to do with politics. It was just their personal issues, and that's where he was asked to talk about the current state of the management in the Ghana Police Service, at least to corroborate the story by COP Alex Mensah. And then he said that, yes, he has a lot to talk about the administration of Dr. Dampare. However, he wants an in-camera hearing to give a full testimony of the entire situation.
Okay, and Mbura, we know that that's happening, and that call is being made simply because he's not the only one in this. COP Alex Mensah is also, pleading to the committee to do an in-camera hearing. There's also the appeal now coming through from Superintendent Asare, and they seem to be towing that tangent because of the police service and the fact that some details they have borders on national security. So what's the next line of action from the perspective of the committee? Are we now moving into the era of, the in-camera hearings, or we may have, some other parties appear before the committee in public?
Right, Blessed. The chairman of the committee, Mr. Atachia, indicated that any person of interest that has been mentioned will definitely be invited. We know the IGP's name has featured on several occasions before. The committee, the witnesses that have appeared before them have mentioned his name. So the possibility of the IGP appearing before the committee is high, but that one will be an in-camera hearing. But whilst they were in the committee meeting here, I picked information in which the chairman confirmed that some senior police officers actually petitioned the committee on the happenings, or they had some input that they wanted to add to this entire conversation. So the conversation is not only limited to COP Alex Mensah, it's not limited to Superintendent George Asare and then Mr. JB, but it's like most of the police officers are opening up on what is happening so far as the administration of the Ghana Police Service is concerned. Mind you, the task of this committee is to do a fact finding and later make recommendations. So the committee chairman says that they are going to explore all the available means or information to shape their report to at least make some reforms in the Ghana Police Service. So there's a petition from senior police officers before the committee in which the committee will be scrutinizing. We know that about 80 police officers have taken the IGP to court over their promotions. So the chairman has asked that they should fetch that document so that he will scrutinize it, and then they'll add it to their report. So this entire, probe, we know it is not a trial of the Ghana Police Service, but it is taking a different dimension as these fresh information are coming in, with the latest being the petition from some senior police officers in which members of the committee are going to peruse and then decide on that. But the next step is for them to go for the in-camera hearing. That is unequivocal. The chairman has mentioned that, and that will be subsequently communicated to the media. Blessed. Okay,
it's been a very long day. Sami got some breath there. But of course, it's an ever-increasing scope for the committee. Grateful for the updates from Parliament. And we are now certain to see more and more persons appear before the committee. Samuel Mbura, my colleague, joining us from Parliament after monitoring proceedings of the ad hoc committee. But it has implications, definitely, for the administration of a service that is supposed to ensure law and order in this country. What's happening to security in Ghana? Joining us now, Dr. Adam Bona, security analyst. Adib Sani is also joining us. Thank you, gentlemen, for spending some time with us. Doc, the point about the possibility of inviting the IGP himself looks like he needs to answer some questions, right? Dr. Bona, we're having difficulties hearing you.
Oh yes, I think my mic had been muted. Yes. Good afternoon to yourself and Adib Sani and your viewers. Well, yes. So if the committee deems it necessary to invite the IGP, why not? I mean, because then it's too sweeping to say, oh, the IGP is not correct. The IGP is mismanaging the police. You know, it is an indictment on the police council, which is chaired by the sitting vice president. And so the moment you indict the IGP, you are indirectly indicting the entire police council. You are indirectly saying that the police council that is chaired by the vice president is not doing its work. And you know, in the tape, they somewhere mentioned and indicted the vice president that the vice president was not even in talking terms with the IGP. I don't know whether that question came up during this period of inquiry. I'm not sure whether they asked them, because then they alleged that the vice president does not talk to the IGP. I am wondering how that is probable, how possible this could be if we all know the vice president is a very calm person, that he will not go that low to say he's going to fight his appointees. So for them to have alleged and also come and sit at the public gallery or call it in parliament and say the IGP is not correct, it's an indictment on the police council. I think there are certain things that should have taken place before today or before this thing started. These two officers should have been interdicted. These two officers should have been interdicted. If you look at even the police, the CI 76, it is very clear. An interdiction does not mean dismissal. But you saw that today, Superintendent Asare was in his police uniform. Ordinarily, I have not seen this before. I haven't seen this before where such an important investigations, officers, state officials, especially in the security services or the military they are going to deal with you or the police, and you are in your uniform. I mean, it's so disgraceful. I think that
really, what's wrong with that?
Let's give the police council time.
His contract with the Ghana Police Service has not been terminated. This is a superintendent of the Ghana Police Service. He's not on interdiction.
No, what I'm saying is that interdiction is not dismissal. Do you know a certain doctor, Agodro?
Dr. Agozo, you mean? Yeah, the one who's been indicted
yes,
for.
Dr. Agodro,
yes,
know
yes.
Him?
Precisely, but that's a different scenario, isn't it? Knowing that this gentleman has not been.
It depends on where you are looking at it. But if you are going to look at it from the same lenses, Dr. Agodro, ACP Agodro, was a serving police officer. A leaked tape, allegedly, they said he is implicated, and he was interdicted. A leaked tape. They said it's alleged because it's now up to the court to make pronouncement. It was a leaked tape, just like this, that implicated him. We have a leaked tape that says that make me IGP. And once you make me the IGP, there will be mafia, there will be this, there will be that. I'm an MPP member, I'm a sympathizer, I am a this, I am a that, I am a that. And you have the Right Honorable Speaker sets up a committee to investigate them. My expectation was that the first thing the council should have done was to quickly summon the council members. In any case, they've indicted them. So summon them. Interdiction is not dismissal. It means that for now, until all these investigations are conducted thoroughly, where they are cleared, you cannot call yourself a police officer. If you are not cleared and there are sanctions, the sanctions apply. If you have to remain in the service, whatever sanctions, it is given to you. I'm not attempting to prejudice anything. What I'm saying is that I haven't seen this before. I haven't seen this before does not mean that I stand to be corrected, that it has never happened. This is, you know, it's a national assignment given to the committee. Parliament is different from the executive. And so my expectation would have been Parliament cannot force it on the police council to interdict them. I am believing that the police council would have to, maybe in the shortest possible time, meet and take decisions because the investigations are
and that's
continuing.
why I see all of the problems starting from. That's why I see all of the problems starting from. The fact that even Parliament itself appears not to have approached this matter properly. You disagree with me or not? You know, the point about bringing together feuding factions, people who have concerns about the style of leadership of the IGP, and you know they're making a public show of it. Why not invite these individuals, talk to them behind bars, behind doors, and of course let's get to know what's happening and resolve this matter, because there's implication for our national security as well. Just look at the details coming up.
Well, I will leave that to the chairman and his committee. I would want to concentrate on the terms of reference given them by the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament.
No, but I'm asking you the question because you are the conflict expert here. You know the rules of engagement and how to de-escalate. You don't want to have tension escalating within a police force or a service. That's too dangerous for our country.
No, I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. What I'm saying is that I think what's the name? Honorable Atachian has said they are going to go in caucus and have some conversations. But what I am attempting to say, or what I am saying, is that let's concentrate on the substance. The substance, what we know. But if others have concerns, because at the moment, all that we are hearing is, I haven't seen one petition in the atmosphere. All that we are hearing is people have concerns. And what do you call it? Those concerns, we are told they've shared some with the committee. I am not privy to it. Okay. So it will even be difficult for me to speak directly to anyone who has to speak to, let's say, a document that has been authored by somebody, a police officer or somebody, to the committee. As far as I am concerned, well, let's delve into the TOR, what the terms of reference given them. If they want to, then maybe vary the terms of reference and say, we are going to invite this, we are going to invite that, we are going to invite that, bordering on this state. If not, we are going to miss the opportunity to interrogate the substance. Once we miss the opportunity, we begin to mix them up. We miss the opportunity to interrogate why we are here. Let's concentrate on why we are here. If there is a need to look at other grievances, other people who have issues, one or two, we look at them too. But the moment we begin to say, all right, let's bring everybody on board, the truth is that the officers have admitted it is their voice. They have also admitted they met Bugri Naabu. They have admitted this. They have admitted this.
Which is well within their rights anyway. Which is well
within their rights.
Yeah, precisely.
And we are told that the committee has some additional info that they are likely to listen to and maybe or watch. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that let's stay with the substance. If we don't stay with the substance, we will miss the plot. And once we make the plot, we are going to go into 2024, not sure of how the security turnout is going to be. Once we are not sure, chances are, because already what I am hearing going on in other circles is that, oh, you see, the police have gone to court to go and put an injunction on a supposedly demonstration that the minority wanted to undertake. And therefore, already the police is beginning to favor the sitting government. These are not things that we want to see in Ghana.
Okay.
We want to have an independent police where, if they feel that the premises of Bank of Ghana is a security zone and you want to go on a demonstration, they sit with you. If not, they don't have the power to stop you. They go to court.
I see
but
the potential
moment these
danger.
Things come up, then we have a problem.
Adib, you disagree?
On which specifically? Because we've discussed a lot.
The fact
and I've been
we're
following keenly, by the way.
we're beginning to open the floodgates. Let's focus on the substantive matters. That's the position of Dr.
Okay. Okay, first of all, let me say a very good afternoon to my senior colleague, Dr. Adam Bona. And by the way, I'm in this beautiful Kente/kind courtesy Ghana Lifestyle Awards. Congratulations to Arnold Mashoud, doctor, for the great event held. First of all, we have to put into perspective some few issues. What is the terms of reference for this committee that has been duly constituted by the Speaker of Parliament? They are a fact-finding committee. Fact-finding committee around a leaked tape. And sometimes when you are fact-finding, new issues might culminate and you need to follow the leads individually to be able to make sense of the reason you have been put together in the first place. But to some extent, they seem to be exposed to a cacophony of issues that is only right that they follow up on. And that would, to some extent, amount to them widening their scope. You remember the last time we spoke, I said that I hope the committee's scope would be widened to take a closer look at the plethora of issues that is coming up because of this leaked tape. The issues about the management skills of the IGP, the issues about promotions, the issues of arbitrariness, the issues of cronyism, all of it is coming up. And I think it is only right that when that scope is widened, they will be able to follow up. So in the end, we just don't get to the bottom of this tape, how it happened, and who are involved and what needs to be done next. But rather, we should be able to afford ourselves the opportunity to address those myriad of issues within the police service.
But that's why I keep bringing up this point about whether or not the ad hoc committee is helping matters. Let's look at it from this perspective. Someone's lobbying for a job. It's all over now, because the individual from whom you're lobbying from has spilled the secret. The tape is out there. He's going on in retirement, as we understand. He's confirmed that himself. I'm talking about COP Alex Mensah going on retirement, I guess, this month. So really nothing to worry about. They will just die a natural death. Why didn't you, approach matters that way?
Well, the thing is, everybody lobbies, like I told you the last time. But just that the manner in which he did it was too politically tainted. And the things he said posed a bit of a threat to the security of the state, especially going into next year's election. And it's because we're having the benefit of listening to such a conversation for the very first time, which he says is very normal in the police service. So you can imagine the conversations that go on daily basis behind us. I don't have issues when people lobby, but I have issues when it becomes too political, because every day we keep talking about building the confidence of the people in the police service, especially as we go into next year's election, and the need for the various political actors to trust in the police service's ability or capacity to deliver on their mandates before, during, and after the election. But I seem to have a fundamental issue with COP. Alex Mensah, because of the nature of his lobby. Okay, this IGP is not going to help matters. I would come and I would help the government and all that. He's also stated categorically that he is a politician. At the last time we spoke, I said that he spoke more.
I don't recall him saying he is a politician. He says his family belongs to the UP tradition. He never said he was a politician.
No, he said it. He said it.
He said he is a politician. He
said he's a politician. He said it.
By inference, I guess you're saying.
He said it.
By inference, yes, he said it. So that is the problem. Okay, there is no way. Okay, Soga, the thing is, there's no way you can delink politics from policing.
Yeah.
Okay, but my issue has to do with the politics becoming so pervasive to the extent that it compromises the police's ability to deliver on its mandate. And this committee hearing is bringing up new issues, okay? And I've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of police officers from the bottom all the way to the top who tell me that there are certain fundamental issues within the police service. In fact, I've spoken with some of the about 80 police officers who are in court over their promotion and other issues, okay? And the police service, I mean, I said this earlier this morning, I said it seems to have two faces. They have that pretty external face where, you know, crime fighting has proven effective. There's visibility almost at every traffic intersection. You see them all over town. The response time has reduced drastically. We've seen a number of new initiatives, including the, you know, horse, canine units, the cold case unit, etc. However, there is this other internal phase of the police service that really needs to be looked at. Okay, I wouldn't want to be a peddler of rumors, but the thing is, a lot of issues are coming up since COP Alex Mensah appeared before the committee. And it's only proper that really, if we want to deal with this, we need to deal with it holistically, because some people have talked about the need for us to just wipe out the leadership and perhaps bring new leadership altogether. I said, no, that doesn't deal with the issue, and it will amount to dealing with it superficially.
Okay,
will not be...
Yeah, so if that's not the
so
solution...
we'll not be dealing with it with the fundamental issues. We need to deal with the fundamental issues. If not, we can bring in new people and the same issue would still persist.
Okay, but how then do we solve the problem then if that's not the solution? Some say that let's look at it from the position of the leadership, the style of leadership of Dr. George Akufo-Dampare. Dr. Bona, you think so?
Well, what I think, you see, the tenure of office usually puts everything to rest. So, for instance, you have the CJ, Madam Tokono, who is now the Chief Justice for the Republic of Ghana. You know that until she goes on retirement, or some adverse findings against her, or something else, or she decides to resign, or touch wood, she passes on something, then she leaves. You cannot just, the president will not get up by, weeks of his pen, he signs a termination and tells the IG, you are removed. But, even with the current IGP, it is a bit dicey because he's not up to 60 yet. If you take the ruling from, what is his name, the former Attorney General, versus the Republic. Even though he had left when he was removed, the Supreme Court ruled that they could not have removed him. I am sure that it will be good for us to test this issue of appointment and, disappointment of IGPs in the law court, at the Supreme Court. I think when this thing is done, you are going to have people soberly reflecting. I'm telling you that every organization in this country have its own internal issues. I run businesses, several businesses. Adib does the same. At Multimedia, you have it. All the other organizations in Ghana, including even Jubilee House. Yesterday, we had a release from Jubilee House telling us some 77 personnel that is alleged that they have left Jubilee House. It is not true. It means that everywhere, that it is the mode of appointment and the mode of disappointment. So I would think that it should be one of the first point of call, how you appoint and how you replace. That way, we would be solving one fundamental problem. The other thing is that all these petitions that are coming, my point is that how do you know if these are not politically tinted petitions? These are questions that if you ask me, I would be asking that. Okay, so petitions are coming. I haven't seen any petition. I already said that. But if you look at the political dimension that these people, where they moved to, appoint me, let me break the 8, let me do this, let me do that. So if you bring me a petition,
okay,
you might have a genuine reason, but I'll be looking at it. is it that you also fall in this category? Because COP Mensah said that they have MPP police, they have NDC police. So if they have NDC police and MPP police, and anybody tells me that this inquiry, let's broaden it. Let's do what we have to do and listen to everybody. Are you going to be listening to NDC police, or you are going to be listening to
interesting questions there.
Because today, as we sit, the NDC says Nanado is playing ball. I said Nanado, sorry. The IGP is playing ball and is, in the camp of MPP. There were times I had some people in the NDC call me, or MPP call me to say they don't understand why the sitting IGP would allow his boys or police officers to arrest MPP top executives. And I've had the NDC. I think there was their election that took place in Cape Coast, and they beat themselves with chairs. Some people, they arrested some NDC guys in the Chiman or so. And a lot of the NDC people were so dissatisfied. And they raised hell. But at the end of the day, somebody needed to do the job. So mine is that let's be very careful. Since they have told us, as part of their testimony, that we have MPP police and NDC police. So I want to ask, the petitioners, are they MPP? Are they NDC?
Interesting question there.
Once we are able to narrow this down to whether they are NDC or MPP. If not, I will tell you that these petitions, excuse me to say, are bogus.
Okay, well, we need to go. Of course, let the court decide on that. Adib, let me give you a final take on this.
Yeah. Well, it will depend on the meat of the petitions, because I have had the opportunity to speak with a lot of officers who have said really a lot of damning things about certain happenings within the police service. And it's only proper that we give them a fair hearing and get to understand what the crux of the matter is and how we can collectively deal with it. Because if we have a broken police service that is disunited and fractured, then you can imagine what happens to the security of the state. So it's in our interest to ensure that we have a united police service that committed to working to improve the security of the state going forward. So I would wish to, differ a bit from my senior colleague about the bogus nature of the petitions until we get to know what really is contained in these petitions.
So we wait for what the court to say about this. Adib Sani, Dr. Adam Bona, thank you for spending some time with us here on The Pulse. The police is still in the news, by the way, because